10 years ago, when they first started bursting on the scene, prophecy foretold of a legendary warrior that would deal with the Dagestani problem once and for all. We did not know who it was going to be. But Ilia Topuria is who it's going to be.
In today's video, we're going to be talking about, is Ilia Topuria overrated? Yes, slightly. There are people saying that he could be near GOAT status already after 2 title wins and 1 defense. Even though those 2 title wins are 2 of the best title wins we have ever seen in Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway, there is asterisks with those wins, and in today's video we will be breaking down Ilia's entire career in the UFC and deciding whether he is overrated or not. His first fight in the UFC was Yusuf Zalal, who just beat Calvin Cato by running around the cage for 3 rounds and popping him with the jab. In round 1, Ilia is getting caught by Zalal and he can't get the takedown at first and gets reversed against the cage and held against the cage. He manages to get the takedown with a suplex midway through the first round and straight into mount. He's constantly threatening submission, chain wrestling very well and not letting Zalal get back to his feet. Zalal finally gets back to his feet, and then at the end of the round, Ilia shoots with 1 second left. There was literally no reason to do that, but fair enough. In round 2, Zalal shoots on Topuria at the start, pushing him against the cage, but he's not strong enough to get the takedown on Topuria. Ilia wobbles Zalal but gets caught with a knee down the middle. He gets Zalal down again and is very good with his takedown entries, and gets Zalal in a guillotine and nearly gets him. At this point, Zalal is very gassed, but manages to survive and get back to his feet. Doesn't get back to his feet, gets Ilia's back, but he is taken off straight away, and Zalal goes for a knee bar at the end of round 2. Round 3, Ilia gets a takedown early, starts threatening submission attempts. He takes Zalal's back right away. Zalal escapes. Zalal tries to take down Ilia and they separate. Zalal lands some good shots. You can see Ilia's fatiguing and getting caught. Even gets caught with a head kick that glances off the guard. Ilia shoots but can't finish the takedown and just holds Zalal against the fence. And that is the end of the fight. This showed that Ilia did not have the cardio at this point, and his very grappling and wrestling heavy game plan in this fight gassed him out more heavily, and going through for the constant submission attempts, gassing him out more and more. And getting caught a lot of the third did show that he does need to improve his defense, but he does have very good submissions wrestling, takedown entries and power. His next fight is against Damon Jackson. In round 1, Ilia's landing very good shots, very good body shots, body shot after body shot, so you can hear them. He's forcing Jackson to bring his guard up, and as soon as he does, Ilia catches him with the right, putting Damon to sleep.
Combinations, those body shots have now officially set up the headshot.
This fight showed that Ilia has the fight IQ necessary to outsmart his opponent and pick the easiest way to win, unlike many athletes who are stuck in their ways. Because his previous fight, he was on the ground wrestling, grappling the whole fight. He did not have the same game plan for this fight. His next fight against Ryan Hall, Ilia's catching Ryan with some shots, but Ryan's just going to the ground, spinning on the floor. Joe Rogan just cannot stop glazing him, and in this clip you can hear him call the audience unschooled mouth breathers for not enjoying what Ryan Hall is doing.
And the audience, the unschooled
they don't know what's going
mouth
on,
breathers amongst us.
Ilia's finding it hard to get shots on Ryan Hall because he's jumping to the ground doing weird ass things. But Ilia he lands a big hammer fist and starts unloading the ground and pound with the right, bam, 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 putting Toddler Hall out and shutting Joe Rogan up. This fight showed that Joe Rogan will place absolutely anyone that does jiu-jitsu, and that Topuria has good patience and knows what to do against people with weirder styles and can change up his game plan for these types of things. His next fight was against Jai Herbert at lightweight. Bearing in mind Ilia's 5'7", Jai Herbert is listed at 6'1". In the first round, Ilia is getting caught with shots earlier, and he gets caught with that head kick that everyone's seen and dropped in the first minute, and grabs for the legs, tries to secure the takedown, holds him against the fence, and then finally secures the takedown 3 minutes into the round and secures side control straight away. He then secures mount, starts throwing ground and pound. Then they stand up. Ilia's moving very well, avoiding most of Jai Herbert's shots in the first. Round 2, Ilia's landing some good body shots. Herbert's looking more tired after the grappling heavy first round, wrestling heavy first round. You just see Ilia catch Jai Herbert with the right hook, taking him to the shadow realm.
The legs.
This fight proved that Ilia can come back after adversity and can wrestle when he is rocked, and will shoot if he gets rocked, and that he can deal with someone so much bigger than him, and that his power and speed does transfer to lightweight. His next fight was against Bryce Mitchell, who has a fight against King Silver upcoming at UFC 314. In the first round, Ilia's landing some good shots, especially calf kicks, making Bryce switch stances. But Ilia is getting caught too, mainly with the kicks, and Ilia stuffs an early takedown, but a head clash causes a cut over Bryce's eye. Bryce does get a takedown on Ilia 3 minutes into the first round, but Ilia gets right back up. Ilia's landing good shots, including a nice knee up the middle. He is very good at mixing up strikes and doing it very well in this fight. But Ilia gets taken down with 1 minute left to go on his back, and Bryce was the first one to ever take Ilia down. Round 2, Bryce is getting caught, goes for the takedown early. Ilia stuffs it. Bryce landing some good shots, and Ilia is moving his head better than the first round, but he's extending too much, leaving himself open. He wobbles Bryce, goes to the ground with Bryce. He's landing some good shots, but they get back up. But then he rocks Bryce again, and finally chokes out. At this point, Bryce Mitchell was gassed, but he chokes out Bryce Mitchell. This showed that Ilia can handle an elite grappler and wrestler in Bryce Mitchell, and has the skills to beat someone like that at their own game. And with the skill set he has in the striking, this showed that even without the striking, he could have been a top 10 level featherweight without the striking. So imagine what he can do with it. His next fight is against Josh Emmett. At the start, Ilia's landing some good shots, keeping Emmett away, making him stay towards the fence. Emmett's blitzing in, not really much success. Ilia's feinting very well, not letting Emmett get any reads on him, and keeps him guessing and landing some shots, and bruising appears on Emmett's eye. Round 2, Ilia's moving very well, but he's still getting caught with the jabs and the low kicks, but he is controlling the fight and the center very well. He's landing more shots on Emmett, more jabs, and the bleeding on Emmett's left eye is starting to happen. His right eye, sorry. Both Ilia and Emmett both fall over, but Emmett is looking tired at the end of the second, and his eye is looking battered. Round 3, he's landing very, very good leg kicks, Ilia, making Emmett drop to the floor. Emmett gets up straight away, and there's way more blood on Emmett's right eye, and it's swollen, nearly closed. Emmett's just going for the KO at this point, swinging for the bleachers, barely surviving. Somehow Emmett surviving, still in the 4th. Emmett trips, and Ilia gets on top of him, starts raining ground and pound, trying to get the finish, but somehow Emmett survives. His face at this point has changed shape, and he gets dropped. He gets dropped by Ilia, and Ilia starts raining ground and pound again, but somehow Emmett survives again. Round 5. There's a massive protrusion or swell over Emmett's right eye, but somehow he has still survived this long. But Ilia is getting caught, and he is more gassed in this 5th round. And he takes down Emmett in this 5th round, showing that he knows he does not need to be at the feet all times with someone like this. But Ilia is not as strong at this point, and he keeps trying to get him down, but Emmett keeps scrambling for better position, but Ilia gets his back, and then that is the end of the fight. It was a very clinical performance by Ilia. He schooled Emmett. Somehow Emmett survived. Somehow Emmett's chin is different. It may not be after that fight, but there was not too much visible damage on Ilia after this fight, but he was getting caught with leg kicks by Emmett, who is not as technical in these other fighters. We move on to his next fight, Ilia vs Volk. This is Volk 2 months after getting KO'd by that head kick by Islam on short notice. Round 1, Volk is moving well, catching Ilia with low kicks, but Volk is looking slightly slower than usual and more twitchy, and falling for a lot more of Ilia's feints. Ilia's pushing Volk backwards with shots and low kicks, catching him with low kicks, and he's holding the centre very, very well. But Volk is doing what he normally does, moving backwards with his chin up, which is perfect for Ilia. But Volk comes in, landing some low kicks and some knees in the clinch, and that's the end of round 1. Round 2, Ilia's controlling the centre very well again, pushing Volk back towards the fence, catching him against the fence. Volk's getting caught, moving back with his chin up the whole time, getting caught on the back foot, and then Ilia gets touched with the jab, but then Volk gets slapped, and that is when Ilia becomes the featherweight champion of the world. Ilia vs Max, just coming down from lightweight. Max is after schooling Justin Gaethje. Topuria is trying to get close, but he's not having too much success, and Holloway is trying to keep Ilia away with the volume and lots of movement. Ilia does get a takedown early, but Max does get back to his feet. Max starts landing some shots, but so does Ilia, and he lands a good right hand. Ilia's controlling the centre very, very well, just like he did in the Volk fight, and he's landing some very good leg kicks. But Max is still not changing stances. Max does catch Ilia with stuff, but it's nothing substantial, and Ilia drops Max and takes his back, but the hooks are not fully in, and that ends the first. Round 2, Ilia gets caught with a good right. Max throwing more this round. Ilia's finding his distance better though, and getting good shots. He's pushing Max against the fence, controlling the fight very well, landing very good leg kicks, but still Max's movement has not changed, and it's still very good. Max lands a spinning back kick to end the second. Round 3, Ilia's hunting down Max early, investing more in the low kicks, but no, Max is investing more in the kicks, more in the stomping kicks. Ilia's unloading more, throwing more. They're both throwing more in their 3rd round, but Ilia's looking for that KO and lands a huge right on Max. Max still moving away. He starts to unload. Ilia lands a huge right. He starts to unload, and Max survives. But then Ilia catches him with the finishing shot and sleeps Max. This
He doesn't punch himself out.
fight showed that Ilia can deal with someone that has a large height advantage and someone with very good striking like him overall, and with very good fight IQ, because Holloway does mix up his striking very well and he's very efficient with that. But this showed that Ilia's power is the trump card when it comes to these fights, but his defense does need to be improved on. And that someone with good power at lightweight would put him out. Islam with a head kick. Islam couldn't put him out with strikes unless it was a head kick. Ilia was promised by the UFC the title shot if he vacated against Islam, if he vacated his belt. But Islam said that he still needs to prove himself. I do think Ilia is slightly overrated, but that is because a lot of people overrate him because of the last year he just had. But he's a very, very good fighter, arguably the second best fighter right now, and he is the only one out of featherweight or lightweight that has a possibility of knocking out and beating Islam. He's got a better chance of beating Islam than Arman does, 100%. But Ilia has very, very good power. His gas tank does need to be improved upon. He has very, very good takedown entries, and his wrestling and grappling is very, very good. But he struggles with some people that are stronger and bigger than him, and he gets gassed later into the fight, which with someone with shorter arms like him is bad because it will seriously diminish his KO power. And in every single one of Ilia's fights, he is getting caught by shots by lesser skilled and lesser technical fighters. And someone with good power and good technique at lightweight and good striking could put him out. But at the same time, Ilia has crazy power of his own, and he has shown when he gets hit and knocked down, he will go for the takedown and go to the grappling and the wrestling to survive when he needs to. For all these reasons, I think Ilia is the second best fighter right now, just after Islam. But he is overrated from how the fans view him today, and the Ilia Glazers, some of them saying he could be the GOAT already, and just delusional takes. But Ilia Topuria only cares about his legacy. You can see this by him vacating the featherweight belt to get better matchups for his legacy at lightweight. All he cares about is proving he is the best fighter in the world, and this is what we need in the UFC. This is what we should care about as fans, and it is a privilege to watch Ilia Topuria's career unfold. But let me know, am I waffling? Is Ilia Topuria overrated, or is he not? In a bit.